Hi guys, AzureAce here, and I'm back again with another Dragon Ball Super episode discussion. In this episode we have episode 39, a fully developed time-leap counterattack. Is it coming? Goku's new technique. Now before I get into this, I want to say without a shadow of a doubt, this has been the best episode so far in Super by far. Everything is absolutely perfect in this episode. I thought Vegeta vs Kabe was good, I thought Vegeta vs Vegeta was good, but Goku vs Hit just takes it to a whole different level. So, without further ado, let's get into the discussion. The episode begins exactly where last week left off, already a little bit into the Goku vs Hit fight, with Goku figuring out how to counter Hit's Tokidobashi or time leap technique. If you didn't watch episode 38 or my discussion on episode 38, Hit's Tokidobashi is essentially a time leap, so he is able to jump forward in time by 0.1 seconds and allows him to make Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta just destroys him, essentially, just makes him look like Yamcha. And he's put up a good fight against Goku in his base form so far, but as soon as the fight continues after the recaps, Goku goes straight into Super Saiyan Blue from the get-go. With Goku, he lunges at Hit, and this episode, or this kind of extract of the episode, shows exactly why this is the best episode yet, because it's so reminiscent of the fights in Dragon Ball Z. They're firing a flurry of punches and kicks at each other, and it's so well animated. Goku then kicks Hit in the side of the body, uppercuts him and punches him away. What I like about this part of it is the roles are kind of reversed. In episode 38, Hit was demanding that Goku go all out from the get-go because he knew Goku was hiding his Super Saiyan Blue form, whereas now that Goku has learned how to counteract Hit's Tokidobashi, Hit doesn't want to use it so he can be unpredictable. Goku is now demanding Hit to use his Tokidobashi, with Hit telling Goku that he is at his current limit, which actually is going to play into a part of the episode that is featured later in this video. Hit complies, and he gets into the kind of boxing stance that he uses with the Tokidobashi and lunges towards Goku. Then we see that kind of glass ice effect that we saw when Hito uses his Tokidobashi against Frost. What I believe this is now that I've actually seen it being used while Hit or Hito is using it, is a kind of dimension of time that he metaphorically and or possibly physically jumps into to leap 0.1 seconds in time. Hito then goes to punch Goku, but Goku predicts it and punches him right in the gut and kicks him away, makes him go flying, landing him on the deck. We see Champa distraught because he thought the Tokidobashi was invincible and no one could beat it. And we see something that I find is actually really nice, and both Beerus and Whis are cheering Goku on. Beerus saying that Goku is his, and Whis saying, nah, you haven't been the one training him for so long, boy, he's mine. But it's just great because it's actually showing a lot of character development with Beerus especially, because it looks like he's finally formed a kind of friendship with Goku and Vegeta, and I'm sure it's only going to get more apparent that this friendship is here as we go through the series. But we panel to Vegeta and he confirms the obvious that while he was getting beaten to a pulp, Goku was observing all of Hit's natural movements and techniques as closely as he could. Goku then asks Hit if he is going to surrender, much like a kind of indirect insult to him as he asked Vegeta to surrender. I can't actually remember if he asked Goku to surrender as well. I'll have to kind of look back and see. This pushes Hit over the line, and he starts to do another classic DBZ thing as he starts powering up and he's screaming, the ring's breaking apart. This is the first time we've seen Hit seriously power up, so we know it's all about to go down here. Hito and Goku start trading blows, with Goku looking like he's coming out on top, stating that Hito didn't power up at all. Champa then asked Vados that after he was powering up and screaming, was he meant to get stronger, to which Vados replied that she didn't know. Beerus is still cheering on Goku, but Whis looks pretty concerned, and you're going to see exactly why later in the episode. I know all these different allusions to things later in the episodes. I'll get there, guys, I'll get there. Goku then lunges at Hito, and we see that flash of ki that appears when Hito connects with a opponent, and we see Hito has punched Goku right in, it looks like the gut, but it might be kind of just to the side, but he hits him with a really heavy punch like he did against Vegeta, with Goku dropping down to his hands and knees. You can tell Goku is in serious pain. The announcer asks if he is okay, if he can continue. Goku is just so in pain that he can't answer back. The announcer is about to announce Hito as the winner, whereupon Goku stops him and gets back up on his feet. Hito explains that he does not get stronger by powering up, he gets stronger by what is known as improvement, meaning that as he is fighting an opponent, as the fight progresses, he gets stronger and stronger, revealing that he has broken the limit of the Tokitobashi and is now, instead of going 0.1 seconds in time, he now goes 0.2 seconds in time, where Goku drops back down to his hands and knees, and we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break, everyone is shocked as hell. Champa demands Hito to deliver the final blow to win the match for Universe 6 and to destroy Monaka in the next round, even though Champa doesn't know that. But Hito completely ignores him, and he allows Goku to get back up, and he goes into this kind of new looking stance to kind of fit with his 0.2 Tokitobashi technique. You have a bit of a stare off, and Goku says that he says in his head that he is only going to take a few attacks just so he can get used to the 0.2 time leap change, whereupon Hito says exactly what Goku was intending to do, and he literally hits him with like an 1,000 hit combo. Like, oh my god, Goku looks like he's dead. He doesn't even move from the position he was initially standing in, and Goku just completely collapses, and it looks like he's out cold. Hito says that while he is still improving and Goku has no way to encounter, he is improved up to now 0.5 seconds limit of the Tokitobashi, which is absolutely insane. He's almost a second ahead of time. Goku then stands up, and oh boy, this is it. The part of the episode we have all been waiting for. Goku starts speaking about his quote-unquote new technique that we have all been wondering about, and how it is still in a pretty imperfect stage, in that he intended to use it against Beerus in his rematch someday, which will most likely happen near the end of Super, but as we know, Toriyama has no current plans for Goku and Vegeta to surpass Beerus and Whis as of yet. He then starts to power up his Super Saiyan Blue state with a light red glow around it. Goku explains that this new technique, there's only a 10% chance that it can work, as it is incomplete, and if it fails, it will, in his words, completely mess up his body. So that can mean quite a number of things. It could mean he would never be able to fight against, he could maybe never control his ki, or possibly he could even die, but he still has no choice but to use the technique. Goku starts screaming, the ground is tearing up beneath him, Champa's freaking out, he's shouting at Hit to do something as he powers up. He stops powering up and just stands there and smiles and says one word, or well, depending on if you go by the sub or the dub, 2 words, and those words are Kaioken. Oh, oh my god. When I watched this, when the Raw version went live, I freaked out. Goku's new technique is a Super Saiyan Blue infused Kaioken. This is amazing! The last time we saw Goku use the Kaioken was against Pikkon in the Otherworld tournament, where he used the Super Saiyan Kaioken. However, that's arguably non-canon at this point, since it was never in the manga to my knowledge. So really the last time he solidly used Kaioken in a canon realm is against Frieza in the Frieza saga. It's a pretty long power up. It's really reminiscent to Dragon Ball Z again. but Goku lunges at Hito and Hito doesn't have a clue where he is. He is literally, he's not even on the screen, he's literally invisible to the viewer as well as Hito. This was just to show Hito how fast he actually is, because Hito doesn't believe he's faster than him, but Goku does kind of explain that the Kaioken does double all of the user's fighting ability. Beerus tries to kind of pass off that he looks legitimately worried about this because he didn't know Goku had this technique and that he was going to use it against him, but I'm going to call it from here on out the Super God Kaioken. Vegeta, he looks pretty angry because he has realised that yet again Goku has surpassed him. So before this fight, and before we kind of knew about this new technique, we could assume that Goku and Vegeta were kind of on a similar playing field in terms of power. But now that he has this Super Saiyan Blue God Kaioken, he is now a step ahead of Vegeta yet again. And he does have a nice flashback to when Goku used the Kaioken against him in the Saiyan Saga way back at the start of Dragon Ball Z. Goku explains that he now can use Kaioken to a kind of more controlled level because with the Super Saiyan Blue, in essence, is the ultimate Super Saiyan form, as it has perfect ki control as well as the God Ki, which helps him to control Kaioken, since the Kaioken was originally made by King Kai, who in himself is a god. And he does explain that the power is stronger than all of his, or well, he doesn't explain it, but yeah, it's kind of obvious because he's using it with Super Saiyan Blue. So he starts powering up again. There's this amazing purple electricity instead of the blue electricity, and he shouts that he is using Kaioken times 10. I have no words for this. Hito is screwed at this point. If you think about it, the Super God Kaioken is a fusion of the Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue. This form is essentially Super Saiyan Blue times 10. If you think about it, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the power scaling is done for this, because it's damn powerful. I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to work in Xenoverse 2 when that rolls around. Goku then lunges into hit and he rocks him in the head, and the opening song for Super Chozetsu Dynamic starts playing, and I'm going to be honest, I started crying once it started playing because it took me back to when I was a kid watching Dragon Ball Z when I was growing up, and it looks amazing too. Goku is literally, he's wailing on hit. Hito had like a 1000 hit combo on Goku. Hito is getting hit with like a 2000 hit combo by Goku. It's just, oh, this episode is so just hype. It's so good. Goku tells Hito that the Tokitobashi is absolutely useless because Super God Kaioken is on a level far beyond the Tokitobashi, and he knows the strain he is going through is terrible, and does tell us that even the Super Saiyan Blue transformation won't last much longer. Then we get this amazing moment. Goku, he gets into that famous pose. It's very reminiscent of the Saiyan Saga. He gets into that stance, Super God Kaioken Kamehameha times 10. Hito and Goku are battling it out in this amazing looking struggle. Goku's firing his Kamehameha and Hito's trying to fight it back by just holding it off. And there's a massive, huge explosion ends the episode there. Wow. Overall, this episode, like I said, without a shadow of a doubt, the best episode of Super yet. It looks like we finally found where Toei put all of their budget for Super. It was into this episode. The animation, amazing. We finally get that near perfect, smooth, glossy style of art and animation that Super has been trying to pull off ever since episode 1. The music is amazing. Highly commend Sumitomo for the music in this episode specifically, because he pulled it off to a T. It really brought back that feeling of Dragon Ball Z where the series should be trying to portray. And this epic music with the powering up, the way they used the opening song when Goku went Super God Kaioken, it's so good. And on that note, feels like an episode of Dragon Ball Z. It just looks like an episode of Dragon Ball Z with this glossy, smooth art style. The fight scenes were absolutely on point, the powering up felt like it was from Dragon Ball Z, and like I said, this episode takes me back to when I was a kid growing up watching Dragon Ball Z. There were very minor animation hitches here and there, but the positives in this episode far outweigh the negatives in this episode. But with that overall judgment of the episode out of the way, it's time to get into the episode 40 previews. But before we get into the previews, I usually reveal the title of the episode right at the start of me talking about the previews, but for this I'm not going to do it because I've got something to kind of talk about at the end when I do reveal the title of the episode. So we get into the previews and Goku explains that Hito still wasn't at his top power. We see Hito smile for the first time in Super at least, which is pretty nice. It's just a little bit of character development. Character development's always nice. However, the most important and interesting parts of the preview are at the end of the previews. We see Goku looking like he could be out cold on the deck, which kinda isn't right because we got leaks that kinda say otherwise. I'm not gonna say exactly because, well, I don't really want to spoil episode 40 before I do the review anyway. But he's out cold and Hito is standing over him. We hear Goku looking like he's confirmed the person who stepped into the ring to stop Shampa's rage that he's about to go on, and it looks like it's confirmed in the episode title for episode 40. And with that being said, episode 40 is titled "The Conclusion at Last. Is Beerus the winner or is it Champa?" This might mean that the actual final fight of the tournament is Beerus versus Champa. This would be so amazing. I don't even know if it would have many consequences because right now I'm positive, I can't remember, but I'm positive that the Nameless Planet is a dimension between both Universe 6 and 7. So unless that does something to both sides, I don't see why not. Champa, Beerus, go ahead, fight. It'd be an amazing fight. So maybe Beerus and Champa fight because maybe Goku and Hito either ring out at the same time or make a compromise and have a draw, because it looks like, at least in this episode, episode 39 as well as episode 40, it looks like Hito has gained this kind of sense of respect for Goku, so maybe that'll play into it, which will leave Monaka to be left on Universe 7 and for Universe 7 to win with one person left, because we see an angry looking Beerus and it looks as though Champa is powering up to, but we already knew Champa was gonna be mad at Universe 6 for losing. It's gonna be an interesting conclusion to the God of Destruction tournament. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait to get into this next arc of the Champa saga, or the next arc could be a new saga entirely. But with that being said, nevertheless, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment your thoughts on this episode. Is this the best episode of Super yet? Please share this amongst your friends and subscribe to join the Azure Army today. Thank you.